Hey guys, Caller here, bringing you Game 5 of the Group B of the OSL Round of 16. And in this game we have a Protoss versus Protoss battle between Jangbi on the left here and Best on the right. Jangbi I've watched a lot of games from, but I haven't seen that many games of Best actually. The only one I've watched is of him against Nada in the first game of this group, and he managed to beat Nada in that game on Troy. But from what I've heard from other players, other commentators, he is a very top player right now. He's one of the new and up and rising Protoss stars, like Lucifer, another player who I've also not watched much of. So it will be good to see how he does on this fight against the very creative Jangbi. Both players have beaten Stork, by the way, inside of this group. So Jangbi is actually 1-1 right now. He was defeated by Nada. Best is 2-0 in this group, and if he wins this game, I believe he will be guaranteed to advance to the round of 8. And on this map, we have Jangbi here spawning in purple at the 11 o'clock position, Best spawning in brown at the 5 o'clock, and this map is Hwarangdo, that two-player map which has no gas at your natural expansion, and which lends to a lot of cheese plays, a lot of proxy plays, so we could be seeing something like that in this game so far. And so far, we've seen Best so far has a very strong record against Protoss. Not that many games, I think maybe 15 or 20 games, but he so far is 76% against Protoss. Jangbi, on the other hand, is a quite miserable 36% against Protoss, although this does include games from a little bit earlier in his career when he hadn't begun ascending so quickly as he has recently to the top of the StarCraft world. So perhaps he's better than he was at the beginning against Protoss, but based on these statistics alone, I would have to give Best basically an early favoring here in this match, although pretty much anything can happen on this map, I feel. We have an interesting picture here. Coke versus a carrot. Soda versus carrot? I have no idea what that means. And supermarket toss. Nice. Interesting signs here. I don't even know who that's referring to. Perhaps one of these two players. And looks like gateway first for Best. That's actually no surprise. You always go gateway first as in a PvP. And it'll be up to, the main decision points in PvP are whether you go for a 2-gate Zealot push, whether you go for a 1-gate Cybernetics core into Tech, or whether you go for 2 gates after your Cybernetics core into quick Mass Dragoons. Looks like gas going up for Best. Meanwhile, 2-gate for Jangbi, so we are seeing a very early divergence here. Jangbi is going to be going for a Zealot rush, whereas Best could be going for more of a Dragoon build or a Tech build. And this is a probe and a drone. I got those right. No more farting overlord mistakes here. Farting cloud. But yeah. Looks like both players now are going to get the scout simultaneously. And this is the problem with going for a 2-gate on a map like this, a 2-player map, is your opponent's obviously going to scout it, so they'll have time to prepare for it. And Best will probably just get up a couple of Zealots, maybe send some probes to the front door if he needs to, and once his first Dragoon is out, he will be much safer. Jangbi looks like, meanwhile, is finally getting his gas, and he's got 1 Zealot out. And 1 Zealot for Best also chasing the scouting probe. Both players chasing scouting probes, actually. I feel like Jangbi needs to push out when he gets 3 Zealots, though. Probably will push out at that time and try to put some pressure on Best, or even perhaps go 2-gate into an expansion. We could see something like that, although that would be a bit risky. Best could switch into Tech pretty quickly, and certainly much quicker than Jangbi would be able to. Looks like a Cybernetics core going up for Best now, so that's a very slow Cybernetics core actually, considering he got his gas quite a while ago. I guess he needed the minerals to get a couple of Zealots just to defend himself. And looks like actually Jangbi's Cybernetics core is going to be done at the same time as Best's. So really, Best not getting much of an advantage. He does have more gas, but that's pretty much it. He is only at 1 gateway, and Jangbi... Actually, Jangbi has not built any more Zealots, I think. He's only built 1 Zealot, so really interesting, going for 2 gates and then only building 1 Zealot afterwards. I think this was kind of a ruse, almost, to make Best build more Zealots early on. And Jangbi, okay, now Jangbi has 3 Zealots, okay, so, but he definitely didn't go for a rush. So actually both players are sort of reset at a converging build here. It looks like both players still have their scouting probes alive, so both players will have to make a Dragoon to chase out the scouting probe or to kill it. And looks like range upgrade going up for Jangbi and for Best here. So basically a mirror match here. And yeah, it looks like a lot of pylons being built inside of Best base, just at those locations where it makes it harder for the probe to run around, also to prevent a manor pylon, which is quite annoying. And it looks like a manor pylon was set anyway. I don't even know what that was. Not a manor pylon, obviously, but it was just a pylon behind the mineral line. Don't know what Jangbi was doing there, but he does lose a couple of minerals for doing so. Looks like Best's scouting probe is still alive, still walking around. And Best could be going for an expansion here with his probe. And it looks like he is going to go for his second Nexus here at the natural expansion, not going for any kind of far away expansion, which would result in more gas, but will also be quite difficult to hold. So very sort of conservative build from Best so far. Very standard build from both players, pretty much. And I'm very excited about the MSL, by the way. The MSL has reached a round of 16 also, and I would love to do more commentary, except basically I have no time at all recently to do commentary. I'm just finding random hours that I can just put one or two in, and it just unfortunately I just don't have the time I did before, and at the same time all the series are getting heated up, so it's a little disappointing. We're reaching the round of 16 for the OSL and the MSL, and the round of 32 I think for the GSI, another very interesting tournament. Meanwhile, it looks like a robotics facility was being built for Best. I assume Jangbi also has gone for that. Right, Jangbi has also gone for the Robo Bay, so Robo facility. So both players completely equal at this point. Jangbi also with his second Nexus, perhaps half a minute slower at most. Jangbi going for the observatory, once again the more conservative choice. We'll see whether Best decides to go for that also. And so far a very withdrawn game, and this is what Protoss and Protoss can often turn into, a sort of a macro game where basically both players don't engage with their main forces. Instead they try to harass each other, and well, they do high Templar drops, they do Reaver drops, and they basically try to hurt each other's economy, and eventually there's one big conflict where the person with the better economy will just have more forces and will be able to destroy the other one. And actually it looks like Jangbi's expansion was set up substantially later than Best's. I was wrong about that, at least a minute and a half later, so Best is going to have a bit of an economic advantage. Meanwhile, 4 gates going up for Jangbi here, and he's maynarding some probes over. 3 gates, 4 gates up for Best, so pretty much a mirror so far.